I don't think people grow up thinking that it's important to be a mentor for people. But if you think about it, your whole life is mentorship. From the second you're born, you're looking at your mom, you're looking up at your dad, you're watching your older brothers and sisters, and you emulating them in their behavior.
So Patty, tell us a little bit about who was your first mentor? How did you find that person? And have you had multiple mentors throughout your lifetime?
I've had many mentors my entire life. Like I said, I've always sought people better than me, people that I felt were where I wanted to be financially and in business. And every probably decade or every few years, those mentors have changed because I've attained their level of success. So you have to keep finding other people that can even take you to the next level. My first mentor was a woman that I worked for, and she wasn't even that much older than me, but she was hugely successful. I maybe was 22, 23 years old. And I took a job as kind of in a clerical position for her. She's still a really good friend of mine. But I remember looking up at her, the way she dressed in business. I remember her even telling me, you know, you need to rethink your outfits, because I wasn't dressing the part professionally. So I remember copying what she did. And I remember just looking up to her and being in awe of the way that she handled herself in business. So if I wouldn't have had her to look up to, you know, maybe I wouldn't have grown in that aspect of my life.
Do you have one example? Do you have one person that you can look back and say, she really made a difference?
I think the woman that I saw myself in and that I probably looked up to the most would be Nellie Galan. I've actually been able to tell her, even though she was my secret mentor, I never asked her to mentor me. I just watched how she handled herself publicly speaking. You know, I remember how scared I was 5 years ago, and then I would just watch how she exercised this dynamic, elegant, passionate self. And so without her, I don't know that I would have had a role model to look up to. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't been able to do it, but she made it easy for me to see myself in somebody.
And how do we encourage others to do exactly what you're doing?
I think if others realize that, especially successful people realize that we're not only very fortunate to be sitting where we sit, we have that duty to serve. And it takes such a little time to be able to offer some of your own time to give to others in need.